Hey yogis, welcome to Limitless Yoga Studio Online. My name is Kelsey Wright and this is Watson. And today's class is going to be focusing on the side bodies. So we're going to be getting a really good stretch along the sides of our bodies, kind of the sides of the rib cage and all the way down the IT band. This area is really important because most of us who have to sit all day, this area gets squished and compressed, and pretty soon it gets tight, which can definitely influence how much we're able to breathe and how much we're able to function arms up overhead. So focusing on those side bodies today. So make sure, like, and subscribe to this page so that you get email every single time we drop a free class. All right, I think Watson is ready. The only supplies that we're gonna need today are 2 yoga blocks we're gonna be using throughout class, and then I'm gonna be also showing you a myofascial release technique at the end for the side bodies, which is one of my favorites. So here we go. Lay on back, relax, put on your favorite playlist, and we'll get going. So as you lay back, feel free to bend the knees, plant the feet if your low back's a bit grumpy, or if it's okay to lengthen them out, do so. And then decide, since we're going to be focusing on the side bodies, if it's comfortable to take the arms out into a T position, maybe a little bit of a reach up overhead, keeping the shoulder blades down the back, or even a diamond shape, bending the elbows and fingertips to touch. So any of those positions are going to help stretch out the side bodies, just a little bit of awareness to that area as we begin. So when you have found your comfortable position, close down the eyes, and then immediately drop into that breath work. Since we are focusing on the side bodies today, I'm going to ask you to be mindful of your breath into the side ribs. So as you inhale, belly, ribs, and chest, put a bit of extra awareness along the sides, maybe increasing the stretch between each rib as you flow the air up the spine. By doing this, hopefully each inhale is getting a little bit bigger, finding more space, creating more area to breathe into. Continue to inhale to your max capacity and exhaling to squeeze out the old air. Take a few cycles of breath down the body, just making sure everything is relaxed as possible. We want to start this class as a blank slate. That might mean relaxing the jaw, dropping the tongue. It might mean getting a little heavier in the shoulders, maybe longer in the back of the neck. Flow a few exhales down the spine to the tailbone and hips area, making sure you're relaxed, that you've softened, that you've melted. And with just a few more cycles of breath here, putting it all together, feel free to breathe away any of your morning, any of your week, whatever is not necessary right now. We want to set those distractions aside so that we're able to actually unplug and focus on that mind-body connection throughout the rest of our time together. One more giant inhale, giant exhale. And then flutter open the eyes. Go ahead and take a full body stretch. Reach to the fingers, reach to the toes. Big inhale as you lengthen the spine. Then grab a hold of the right wrist. Shift your shoulder blades all the way over to the left corner of the mat, creating this candy cane shape with the body. Now everything's grounded, including the shoulders, head, and neck. As you reach the fingers, feel a stretch on the right ribs. If you'd like to increase this, walk the heels over to the left so you look more like a banana shape. You can even stack the right ankle on top of the left. Take a big, mindful breath into the right rib cage, increasing that stretch. And then on your exhale, bring yourself back to a symmetrical full body stretch. All right, switching it out. Grab a hold of the left wrist. Shift your shoulder blades all the way over to the far right corner of your mat. Ground everything to relax. Pull through the left fingers. If you'd like to walk the heels over and add in that extra bit of side body, go ahead. Maybe stacking the ankles if it's comfortable. And then take a giant inhale into the left ribs, being mindful to see how much space you have. And on the exhale, bring yourself back to center. One more full body stretch, hopefully feeling a little bit longer now in the spine and in the sides, and then gently draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. We're going to wiggle the toes and the ankles both directions here so that we're getting out pops and creaks. And then to massage the low back, you might choose to go right and left. You might choose to draw some circles on the ceiling with your kneecaps in both directions. Or if the low back is extra grumpy, you might choose to lift the head and scrub that low back tissue up and down the mat, kind of that tailbone area. You're going to feel that slide and glide, which feels pretty nice. Gets at those knots. Hi, buddy. All right, from here, we're going to take the heels up and down. So you're going to extend through the heels, lengthening the legs, and then immediately bend the knees. A little bit of tug on the hamstrings and the calves, and then relax it. We got 2 more big pushes here. And then after this last one, go ahead and pause, hands behind the back of the legs, and then push through the heels, flexing the toes down towards the shins. Take a big breath up the back of the legs. Head, neck, and shoulders are relaxed here. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and plant the feet. With the hands down by the sides, you're going to press into the feet, lift the hips, lift the hands, reach up all the way up overhead. Feel that side body stretch. And then as you come down, tuck the tailbone towards the heels. Press and lift, reaching up, trying not to over squeeze the buns here, and then bring it all the way back down. So this is much more about how long can you get as opposed to how high up off the floor you can get. We're going to do one more little nice massage up the spine as well as lengthening the side bodies. And then bring yourself all the way back down. All right, we're going to wiggle our feet about mat distance apart, maybe a little wider if necessary, and then drop both knees over to the right. Take your left arm extended up overhead, kind of reaching for the back corner of your room, and you're going to feel a big pull from the fingers all the way through that left knee. Take a big inhale here and lengthen. And then exhale those knees back to center. Drop them over to the left. Extend your right hand up overhead, reaching for that back corner of your room, and then pull that diagonal line all the way down the right side body for the inhale. And relax on the exhale. Bring the knees back to center. Go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. We're going to rock and roll up and down the spine a few times, just connecting the brain with each and every vertebrae. A little bit of blood flow up and down from head to tail, and then we'll pop up all the way to a seated position. Once you're here, you're going to relax the chin down to the chest, get heavy in the shoulder blades, and then roll out the neck. So we want to take at least 1 circle in each direction, getting out any crackles here. Feel free to take more if necessary, if something's feeling really good. We want that full 360 degrees of range, no less. And then we'll bring ourselves up to a nice tall spine. You're going to drop the right hand, reach up and over with the left. Keep the shoulder blades down the back, palm facing the floor. I'm going to look up underneath that armpit to give myself a little extra stretch, and then switch. Drop the left, sweep with the right. Big inhale here into the right ribs. All right, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to drop the right, reach to the left. This time I might choose to bend the right elbow or even drop the right forearm to increase that stretch, and then switch. Maybe choosing to increase, knowing the sides are different, so choose what you need. All right, going on the diagonals, we're going to take the right hand by the right knee, reach up and over, so I'm getting the left side of my spine as I reach. And then staying on the diagonal, I'm going to take the left hand to the outer left hip, reach the right hand up and back, kind of feeling it along the right side of my six-pack. I'm going to do that again. Drop the right next to the knee, reach up and over for the left side of the spine, and then reach all the way up and back to the back corner of your room. Okay, second diagonal, we're going to drop the right hand to the outer right hip, reach up and back to the back corner, feeling that along that left side body. And then staying on that diagonal, drop the left, reach with the right, feeling this on the right side of the spine. One more round like that. Big inhale to increase the stretch on the left side body. And then switch that diagonal, big inhale into the right back ribs. All right, we're coming back to where we started. Drop the right, reach with the left, straight up overhead, big inhale. On your exhale, you're going to come out of this slowly, scoop up the skull, and then pull a big diagonal line from right hand to left hand. I'm going to have a nice stretch down the back of the neck. I can choose a different angle if that feels better, and I'm definitely going to walk the right fingers as far away from my body as I can. Second side, drop the left, reach with the right, big inhale here. And then exhale as you come out of that, scoop up the skull, create that big, nice trap stretch from the back of the earlobe to the back of the shoulder. Maybe walking the fingers further away from the body or tilting the chin in a different way. Okay, release everything back to center. We're going to take all 10 fingers to the back of the head lightly. I want you to draw that right elbow up as high as you can. So we're going to get a little deeper side body stretch by reaching through the elbow up and across rather than just the fingertips. And then switch. Think about the elbow driving up into the ceiling and across. Take a breath and bring yourself back to center. All right, we're going to make our way to hands and knees for tabletop position. So however you need to get there, I will see you there stacked up, shoulders on wrists, hips on knees. Couple cat-cows here. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Inhale, gently drop the ribs downwards. Exhale, push into the palms, arch the ribs, tuck the tailbone towards the nose. As you flow up and down the spine here, just remember that as we are being very flowy with this, that spine is comprised of all these different little moving parts. So we want every link in the chain to be doing its job. So make sure that every link in the chain is getting some movement. One more up, one more down. And then we're going to meet with a nice neutral spine. Firm the belly button up towards the ceiling. Extend the right hand forward like a karate chop. Kick through your left heel with the toes pointed down. Now continue to draw the belly up and in. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to take airplane wings. So think about extending the hand and leg out to your side. Bring it forward to lengthen more, and then out to the side bodies more. One more. Reach as far forward as you can, and then reach across the mat. Pause. We're going to drop those airplane wings, hand and foot. Inhale, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath here. We're going to come into gate pose. So take that left hand down the left leg, reach up and over, keeping the right shoulder blade down the back as you stare up underneath it. Okay, then we're going to drop that right hand on the floorboards. Left hand reaches up and over. So this is what I call rainbow side plank here, finding a rainbow from fingertips to tips of toes. Okay, do it again. Inhale, find your gate pose, reaching the right hand up overhead. And then exhale, find that version of modified rainbow side plank. We got one more. Inhale, rise up, reach up, looking up underneath that right armpit, shoulder blade down the back. And then exhale, cartwheeling into that rainbow side plank. That left hand is going to land center stage on the mat. We're going to lift our wings, fly them forward, so we're right back where we started in that bird dog position. And then as the hand drops, I'm going to drop my back toenails, sweep the foot over to the right, and then take a peek around the corner. Big breath here. If I want to add on, I can take the left hand and finish that crescent shape or banana shape of the body. Take a breath. And then we'll bring it all back for a calf stretch. So pressing through that left heel. Option to stack the right foot up on top if you'd like. Make sure the heel is in line with the sitting bone and not spiraling inwards, kind of like what we do in Warrior 1 and 2. All right, when you're ready, I'll meet everybody back down on hands and knees, ready for that second side. We're going to take the left hand forward like a karate chop, right heel back. Make sure to draw the belly up so we're not hanging in this hammock, this unsupported hammock. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, airplane wings to the side. Inhale, lengthen, reach further to the crown of the head. Exhale, airplane wings. One more. Inhale, even more length. Exhale, take it to the side to pause. We're going to drop and ground through the footprint and the handprint. Inhale, right hand comes up. Exhale, right hand goes down for gate pose. Reach up and over, shoulder blade down the back. Gaze up underneath that armpit. And then we're just kind of cartwheeling across our mat, dropping the left, reaching with the right into that rainbow shape from fingers to toes. 2 more rounds with the breath. Inhale, breathe into the left ribs as you reach for gate pose. And then exhale as you reach into that modified rainbow side plank. 1 more. Inhale, gate pose, shoulder blades down the back, gaze up underneath that armpit, and then exhale into that modified rainbow side plank. So it's a rainbow shape from the right side body. Hey, right hand's going to plant in the middle of the mat. Firm up the belly as you lift your wings, as you fly them forward to that bird dog position. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, that hand's going to go down. My toenails are going to go down. Sweep it on over to the left side. Take a peek around the corner. Option to stay here. This is a good side body stretch. Or maybe that right hand reaches forward to find that crescent shape. Everything is long from hands to toes. Okay, hand comes back. Foot's going to go back for that calf stretch. Fire through the heel. Maybe the left foot wants to climb up on top. That's completely your option. All right, if you want to keep that left knee on the floor, go for it. Take one more big breath. And exhale, we'll land back down on hands and knees. All right, getting ready for down dog. Take a moment to hug the shoulders in towards their sockets. Step back into a long plank, and then press back into down dog. Feel free to walk at the calves if they're a little bit grumpy, and then check on the shoulders. We don't want the shoulder blades shoved up in the ears, but we also don't want them locked down the back. We want that 50-50 push, not a shove. All right, feel the length of the side bodies here in down dog. Hopefully a little bit of a stretch kind of from the armpit to the hip crease. And then looking forward, stepping forward, top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, rise up, get nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. We got 2 sun A's today. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees so that you're hinging and not bending. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop the knee. We're going to inhale, rise up. Imagine that your spine is a slinky and you're trying to get it as long as possible. Pause here, drop your left hand down to relax. Now reach your right hand up further, drag your fingernails across the ceiling, see if you can get that right side body stretch. Inhale, 10 fingers back up to the ceiling, long slinky spine. Hands are going to come down to the floor. Left hand swings up so the left foot can swing back. Big inhale here. Exhale, gate pose. Slide the left hand down the leg, reach up and over, spiraling the gaze up underneath that armpit. Come on down to that modified rainbow side plank. All right, adding on some options here. As you come into gate pose, you can choose to stay here, or I'm going to interlace the fingers and give a little extra bit of a stretch to the right side body. As I cartwheel down into modified rainbow side plank, I can choose to stay here or hug the right shoulder head in, push to lift that right knee so it's more a full side plank. One more option here as I come into gate pose. Maybe it's one hand, maybe it's two, maybe you grab opposite elbows and really reach through this right elbow towards the back of your mat. And then cartwheel down again with that option of modified rainbow side plank. Maybe you're lifting, maybe you're kicking to lengthen. Okay, no matter what you choose, we're going to slowly roll it down. Find your plank, rock to the tiptoes, lower to the belly, maybe using the knees if necessary. Gluing the toenails to the floor, extend your right arm forward like a karate chop. We're going to lift the belly button up off the mat. Right arm and left leg lift and extend. So I don't care how high you're getting up off the mat, I care how long you are. Lift, lengthen, and then lower. One more, lift, lengthen with a supported belly, and lower. We're going to swim to switch the arms. Here we go, with the belly button suctioned up off the mat. Lift, lengthen, and lower. Keeping the shoulder blade down the back always. Lift, lengthen, and lower. Last one, lift, lengthen, and lower. Hands to the rib cage. You're going to find your plank with or without your knees and press back into down dog. So you might choose to bend the knees, which might help you lengthen the side bodies more here. And then I'll see you at the top of the mat to finish off that second side. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, rise up, get nice and tall. Grab a hold of the right wrist, shift up and over, letting the hips slide to the side. Bring it back to center, grab the left, up and over. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, left foot steps back, drop that left knee. Inhale, rise up, get as tall as you possibly can through the spine. Let the right arm relax. Pull up and then drag the fingernails across the ceiling so that left side body feels the stretch. Inhale, 10 fingers up. Exhale, hands come down. Right hand sweeps up, right heel sweeps back. Okay, we've got our 3 gate poses. So as you slide on down, you can choose that first, just normal position, and then bring it down and find that normal modified side plank with that rainbow variation. Okay, the next time you come up, maybe you choose to stick with that or an interlace and a reach to the index fingers. Bring it down, maybe you choose to stay with the modified version. Maybe you plug that footprint in and lift that knee. And then last option on the side, again, anything we've done so far, or grabbing opposite elbows and really reaching through that left elbow towards the back of your mat. Bring it down, any option we've done before, or maybe hugging that shoulder head in, lifting and extending the leg. All right, no matter what you chose, we're going to slowly land in our plank and then lower down to the belly. This time we'll be extending all 10 fingers forward, so both karate chops, shoulder blades down the back, nose on the floor. Lift your belly button up off the mat. We're going to inhale, lift, lengthen, and lower. Now, if that felt okay in your low back, you might choose to add in the lower body. Keep the belly button very firm to the spine here, so you're protecting your low back. Lift, lengthen, and lower. Last one, with or without the lower body. Lift, lengthen, and lower. Hands to the rib cage. Okay, we're only coming up to hands and knees, and then getting crazy heavy in the palms. Slowly start to take your butt back to your heels, and your palms are almost resisting this, and it's going to help traction out the spine. So let your arms drag, but kind of begrudgingly until the booty goes all the way down towards the heels. Lengthen for a breath, and then rise up to hands and knees. Okay, securing the shoulders, you're going to step back into plank, press back into down dog, maybe bending the knees if it feels good for you, and then looking forward, stepping forward, top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, rise up, get nice and tall. Grab a hold of the right wrist, shift up and over. This time, once you find the side body stretch, come on down, sweep off your toes to add in a little bit of that hamstring. And then as you come up, I want you to imagine getting an inch taller, so really reach for the sky. Grab the left, up and over, find the side bodies. Come down, find the hamstrings. And then reach up, rise up, and find a whole extra inch of length to the spine. Okay, hands come down to relax. All right, if you need to grab a drink or anything, feel free. I'm going to set my blocks up at the top of the mat so they're available to me for these standing poses. Watson is still napping. Okay, here we go. Feel free, if you have a vinyasa in your practice, you can absolutely throw those in. Just make sure you're staying safe in the shoulders, not caving them forward, which is the tendency, but rather rolling them back in their shoulder sockets so that you have that broad, open, cobra-like chest in chaturanga. If you have no idea what I was just talking about, no worries. You're going to follow me. I'm going to give you some modifications and choices along the way. So here we go, side bodies. Please be aware that as you reach further up to get that nice side body stretch, the shoulder blade is going to want to creep up into the ear, okay? So be aware, we want to keep the shoulder blade down the back, but we still want to get that side body stretch. So you're pulling through the fingers, even though the shoulder blade is down the back. You can still get that side body stretch. So just be aware that that is the tendency, but we don't want to squish up all this business here in that shoulder head area. We don't want to get anything grumpy or irritated. So you'll hear me say shoulder blades down the back a lot. Here we go, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, hands up overhead. Keep this nice long extension of the spine as you sit back in your chair. So imagine lengthening from fingertips to sitting bones while the shoulder blades are down the back. Give me an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to fold, maybe using the blocks if you'd like. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, I'm going to step back into down dog, but if you have a vinyasa in your practice, now would be the time to do it. Once you're lengthened into down dog, feel those side bodies. Inhale, right toes up in the sky. Now drop the heel to the tush, reach the toes across the body, but try not to open up the right armpit. Feel the right side body stretch, and then kick the foot all the way through between the hands. Pause here, extend your left hand forward like you're going to shake my hand. Slide across the front of your mat, feel that left side body stretch, and then plant both palms down. Spinning your back heel down, let's rise up warrior two, anchoring through the heels and then immediately checking, 5 toes pointing forward, knee tracking through the middle of the foot. Take a big inhale here. All right, on your exhale, that right arm is going to sweep across the belly button as the left hand spirals to reach up overhead, keeping the shoulder blade down the back. Once I find my side body stretch, I'm going to switch, taking the left arm across the belly button, right arm spiraling so the shoulder blade goes down the back. So I'm going to do this 2 more times, spiraling the arms, reaching to the fingertips, getting those big side body stretches. 1 more set here. Keep breathing, keep lengthening the spine. We're going to land in side angle. So maybe it's right forearm to thigh bone, or maybe it's hand to floor, maybe it's hand to a block. You choose, all right? Once you're there, I'm going to extend that top hand forward, spiraling, and then look up underneath your armpit, which is going to give you a whole extra bit of stretch to the side. Take a big inhale. And now rise up, reach up, straighten out that front leg, reach up as high as you can, inhale, lengthen, then exhale, maybe drag the fingernails across the ceiling a little bit, finding that right side body stretch. All right, cartwheel the hands all the way down to the floor, and then walk to the middle of the mat. All 10 toes in the same direction, square yourself off, and then take a forward fold, trying to stack the hips on top of the heels, and then paying attention to the 4 corners of the feet, so we're not spilling to the outer edges of the ankles or caving to the insides. Once you're grounded, relax the wrinkles out of the back of the neck. Give me a big cycle of breath up and down the legs. Okay, as you walk yourself forward, everybody's going to drop that left knee. Right hand comes up, right heel goes back. Your version of gate pose. So maybe that's just a single arm. Maybe that's that interlace. Maybe that's that elbow grab. You choose, take a breath, and then cartwheel down in your version of rainbow side plank. It could be staying here. It could be lifting the left knee. It could be extending the leg. All right, from here, hands down, stepping back into plank. Maybe your vinyasa or down dog so we can do the second side. Inhale, left toes up, heel to tush, reach the toes across without flaring that left armpit open. Feel the side body stretch, and then kick it between the hands. Pause. Right hand reaches forward this time. Drag your fingernails across the front of your mat. Feel that stretch. Bring it back. Ground the hands. Ground the back heel. Rise up, lengthening the spine. Remember how it's a slinky. You want those coils to really expand. Take a big inhale. Exhale, start those windmill shapes. Left hand across the belly button. Right hand forward. So my bottom half of the body pretty much is doing nothing other than holding that foundational position. My upper body is what's getting these really nice side body stretches, making sure the shoulder blades stay down the back as I spiral through the arms. All right, last set here, pressing through the heels. We're going to meet in side angle. So either forearm, left forearm to thigh bone, hand to the block, or hand to the floor. Make sure that left hip doesn't stick out to the side. Once you're here, reach that arm forward, shoulder blade down the back. Now take a peek up underneath that right armpit and extend a little more. All right, rise up, reach up, straight legs now. Reach up as high as you possibly can, up, and then maybe a little further back if that feels productive on that left side. Cartwheel the hands down, drop that right knee. Left hand comes up, left foot goes back. Your option of gate pose, so one hand, 2 hands, or elbows. And then your version of rainbow side plank, 1 hand, 1 knee, or long legs. And then I'll see everyone stepping back into plank and down dog. Lengthen it out. All right, look forward, bend the knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, get nice and tall. Okay, extend through the fingertips without involving the shoulder blades. Have a seat back down in your chair. Pull from fingertips to sitting bones. Inhale to stay. Exhale to fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, vinyasa. This time I'm going to show you a modified way to do it. So if you'd like, you can step into plank, drop the knees, immediately look forward, broaden the chest, roll the shoulder heads back, drop the elbows to the ribs. Okay? From down dog, everybody, inhale, right toes up. Heel to tush, find that side body stretch, trying not to open up the right armpit, and then kick this foot all the way through to pause. Right arm's going to reach forward. Can you reach a little further forward? Can you reach a little further to the left? Okay, bring it back to center, second side. Left hand reaches forward, drag across the body, bring it on back, set it down. Spin your back heel down, rise up, find that warrior two again, stacking the shoulders on top of the hips and maintaining that firm belly with a long tailbone. Big inhale here. All right, exhale, flip and reverse your warrior. Reach up as high as you possibly can. Good, now extend through that front leg, reach even higher. Now drop the head to the hand and let the head drop like it's in a hammock, extending even more through that right elbow. Find the side body stretch for the breath. And then exhale, bring it forward as far as you can and down for triangle pose. Once the hand rests slightly on the shin, the ankle, or the pinky toe side of the foot, we're gonna take the top hand, spiral it forward, shoulder blade down the back. Can you again look up underneath that armpit, which is gonna give you more to the left side body. Big inhale here. And then go ahead and look forward. This is a big one. Ready? Half moon. Slide forward. Grab your block. As you lift, you're going to reach through the entirety of the left side body as you spiral up towards the ceiling. So take a moment. See if you can continue to breathe into the left ribs. Find that really long line of energy from fingers to heel. And then hands come down, toes come down, and walk to the middle of the mat. Okay, square yourself off as you did before. Take just one cycle of breath here in this forward fold. And then keep the base as you inhale, rise up, reach up. Little micro bends in the knees if necessary. Grab a hold of the right wrist, shift up and over. Maybe you look up underneath the right armpit. Bring it back to center with this wide base. As you switch, you might feel a little bit more, a little bit different in these side body stretches. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walk to the top of the mat. Exhale, drop the left knee. Right hand comes up, right heel goes back. Find your gate pose, your variation, whatever that is for you. And then rainbow side plank, whatever variation that is for you. All right. Coming into plank, maybe you're going to drop the knees and modify your chaturanga again. Maybe you're just going to come back into down dog. Second side, and then we'll have a little rest. Inhale, left toes up. Watch the armpit as you reach across to find the side body stretch. Kick it all the way through. Pause. Left hand's going to go forward. Reach across. Bring it back to center. Right hand reaches forward and across. See if you can go a little further. Bring it back to center. Spin that right heel down. Rise up. Find your warrior two. Take a big inhale as you continue to lengthen through the crown of the head. And then exhale, flip and reverse your warrior. Thinking up before you think back. Okay, extend through that front leg, reach even higher, and then gently take the head and the hand. So just relax the muscles of the neck. Just use the weight of the head to get that extra side body stretch. And then use all that new length to come even further forward and even further down into your triangle pose. Hand on the shin, ankle or pinky toe side of the foot. Resist that drop of the head with gravity. Top hand reaches forward, spiraling the arm. Look underneath the armpit. Take a big inhale, lengthen to the right side. And then look forward, slide forward, lift into half moon, anchoring into that block, reaching through the right side body, squeezing that left outer hip as your anchor, and then continue to lengthen as much as possible. Firm belly for a breath, and then exhale, hands down, toes down, right knee down. Left hand comes up, left heel goes back. All right, find your gate pose of your choosing. You've got all three options. And it's okay if one side is different than the other with your options. And then come into that rainbow side plank, your option, take it. And then I'll see everyone in down dog. Lengthen out for an inhale and an exhale. All right. Hopefully those side bodies are feeling a little different in your down dog. Inhale, right toes up in the sky. Exhale, knee towards the nose, sweep the shin across the mat, drop the back knee, wiggle it on back. Find that nice long line from sitting bone to big toe for our pigeon pose. So I'm going to come down to the forearms, but if it feels better to use a block to give yourself some support, please do that. Once you're there, you might take your hand to the small of the back and just feel that it's fairly level. If you're feeling a pretty good slope to the right side, then you might use that block under the right hip to level that out. We just don't want a ton of weight being dumped asymmetrically into those joints. Then as we take a few cycles of breath here, I'm going to encourage you to notice that your right side is getting the stretch. Can your left side get just 1% heavier? Not a big flashy move, but just 1% heavier is going to put just a tick more emphasis on that right hip. One more big breath. All right, so if you're happy here, definitely take one more cycle of breath here, or I'm going to stretch out the side bodies here by climbing up to the palms, really firming up my belly so that I can reach the hands up, seal the palms, thumbs to the back of the neck. Okay, as my hands come down, curl my back toes, slide it on back into down dog, lengthen it out. We're going to do a dolphin in between, so dropping the forearms. Make sure the elbows are only shoulder distance apart. Relax the chin to the chest. Now push through the heels to find the hamstring stretch. Push through the sitting bones to find the hamstring stretch. Give me a big breath here. And then to do more awareness on the side bodies, can you bend your knees and now push the floor away from you and get extra into those sides? All right, dropping the knees, rise up to the palms, and we'll do pigeon on the second side. All right, just a heartbeat in down dog. Before the left knee comes in, sweep the shin across the mat, drop the back knee, and wiggle it on back. Reach that big toe, so you have a relatively straight line from sitting bone to big toe. We don't have that weird kind of kink or candy cane shape that happens in the ankle. As you come down, I encourage you to feel out your low back. Make sure everything is pretty level back there. Definitely use your blocks, use your resources. And then if it helps to close down the eyes, do that. Relax the muscles of the face. And then come back into that breath, making sure that you're inhaling using every bit of space that you have in the torso. Belly, ribs, chest, front body, back body, side bodies. Now you are welcome to stay here for one more cycle of breath. Or if you'd like to join me, I'm going to climb up to the palms. I'm really going to firm the belly button to the spine so that as I come up, I don't feel anything in my low back, thumbs to the back of the neck. Okay, hands come down, curl the back toes, slide back into down dog, lengthen it out. Look forward, bend the knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, get nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we got just one more flow here for you. And then we'll have that really nice side body massage with the blocks that I've been talking about. All right, so feel free to hit the pause button anytime you need to rest. If you're ready to move on, last set, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, hands up overhead. Can you get a little bit taller even though you're sitting down in your chair? Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, vinyasa, which could be down dog. You could be dropping your knees, or you could be rocking to your tiptoes, broaden the chest like we practice, elbows to ribs, flip the toes up dog, long unwrinkled neck, flip the toes down dog, long side bodies. All right, here we go. Inhale, right toes up, heel to tush. Can you feel a difference between this stretch and the first one we took at the beginning of class? And then kick that foot through and pause. Reach that left hand forward, slide it across the front of your mat. Can you feel a difference in this from the beginning of class, and put it down? Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose, wrapping the core around the spine to protect the low back. Reach upwards, thinking about that slinky spine. Drop the right hand, reach up and over with the left, feeling the left side. Now, bring it back to center. Energize through all 10 fingers. Look at your blocks, bend, push, lift, warrior 3. Reach, 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 reach. Then switch the positioning of your arms, continuing to energize and pull length through all 10 fingers, through your back heel. We're going to gently drop the back foot, slide the left hand down the hamstring, inhale, rise up, and then maybe back if that feels okay on that low back area. Okay, we're going to cartwheel to the blocks, standing splits. Lift that back leg. Take a peek back at those toes, make sure they're pointed down. Relax the chin to the chest. You're welcome to use the floor if you'd like, but we are trying to do a pretty straight right leg here. Maybe a micro bend in the knee if that feels safer in the joint. I know it does for mine. Take a big breath. And then gently drop the toes to the very back of the mat and walk, and then drop the back knee. Okay, last one of these on this side. Right hand up, right heel back. Find your last gate pose, comparing it at the beginning of class, whatever variation you'd like. And then cartwheel into your last rainbow side plank on this side, noticing how it feels compared to the beginning of class. Okay, step back in a plank. Maybe it's a vinyasa, maybe it's a down dog. Last side, last set, wrapping it all up. Inhale, left toes up, heel to tush. Notice the side body stretch compared to the beginning of class. Kick it through, pause. Right arm extends forward, drag it across. Maybe you're getting a little further than you did at the beginning of the hour. Bring it all the way down. Keep the back heel lifted. Inhale, rise up, extend through the crown of the head. And then exhale, drop the left, reach up and over with the right. Okay, bring it back, continuing to pull through all 10 fingers. Bend, push, lift, extend into warrior 3. Trying to think about this letter T shape of the body, extending in all directions. Swim to switch the arms. Inhale, lengthen with energy. Exhale, gently drop the back toes. Right hand's going to go down the back of the leg. Think up before you think back. Coming into standing splits, cartwheel the hands towards the blocks, lift your back leg. Relax the chin to the chest that you can stare back at those toes. Make sure they're pointed down. Big breath through the left hamstring. All right, as you gently drop the toes to the very back of the mat, we're going to walk to the middle of the mat, putting this all together. Take one big cycle of breath, forward fold. And then inhale, straight arms, straight legs, reach for the sky. Grab a hold of the right wrist, shift up and over, find the side bodies. Then come on down, sweep down, find the hamstrings. Reach up and see if you can grow a whole inch taller to the ceiling. Switch it out, grab the left, up and over, side bodies. Hamstrings, reach up, grow an inch taller. Inhale, exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, walk forward to the top of the mat. Exhale, drop the back knee. Left hand up, left foot back. Very last gate pose of the whole practice. Find your variation. Take a breath. Exhale, very last rainbow side plank. Find your variation, hugging that right shoulder head into the socket. And then bring it on back and find your very last plank and your very last down dog. Lengthen the side bodies and compare this to the beginning of class. All right, to go ahead and drop the knees. I'm going to keep my toes curled under so I can get a little foot stretch here, which is really important for foot health. My knees are going to be in line with my hips. My heels are going to be in line with my sitting bones. If you need a little less, keep your hands with some weight going through them. If you need a little bit more, walk your kneecaps forward. It's going to give you a deeper stretch. Okay, 2 cycles of breath in this position. We've got to keep those feet healthy because we tend to wear shoes that aren't so great. All right, wiggle out those toes and then grab both of your blocks. Now, if you're using foam blocks, this is going to be a little less intense, which can be fantastic. If you're using cork blocks, it can be a little more intense, which could be a good thing as well. If you need, though, you can definitely soften up the cork blocks by grabbing a hand towel and folding it up and creating like a cushion here. So if we start to do this and you're like, whoa, that's a really high number on my sensitivity scale, definitely grab that cushion and use it. It'll make a giant difference. So what I want to do here is take a block on the medium side, a block on the high side with a gap between, and this is where I'm going to thread my arm through. So I want to take this block and have it hit here at the base of my armpit. A lot of times it's pretty easy to kind of line up with either the slant of your tank top or your bra line, kind of a good general starting place. So as I come through, I'm going to be on this is my left side. I'm going to thread my left arm through. As I come down, I'm going to angle that block to kind of match my tank top. And then I want to rest my head on the block. Now I can tell immediately the block isn't quite right because I feel a bit kind of a sharpness, like the edge is digging in. So I'm going to play with it until, okay, now I feel like it's a flat surface connected to a flat surface. I don't feel like the block's going to teeter over. I don't feel any pinchingness. I definitely feel sensation. There's a reason why this one's my favorite. That hurts so good for me. I'm going to make sure that my arm is relaxed down so that shoulder blade isn't up in the ear. Okay. So if this is super intense for you, definitely encourage you to pad up your block regardless of if it's cork or foam. And the first few cycles of breath are so important because your body determines what this is going to be like for the next few minutes. Is this pressure threatening? Is this a problem? Do we need to react aggressively to it? Or is this going to be a therapeutic massage? Is this going to be really nice? Is this going to help and be beneficial to the tissues? And it's going to relax into it. So the breath is important. Sometimes closing the eyes helps. But we want to make sure that we wait until the body chills. Okay? You can actually kind of feel the response. All of a sudden things soften and give way. And you're like, oh, Okay, now my body's not fighting this anymore. You can choose to stay here, especially if you have some pretty high numbers, like if you're getting in your 8s and 9s. You don't want to do too much movement here. If you're more like 5s or 6s, then I'm going to slowly start to make a movement where my chest moves down towards the floor, and then my chest moves up towards the ceiling. So it's not a big movement for me right now because my lats are always grumpy because I swim every morning. So if you're someone that does a lot of overhead movements, whether it's swimming or overhead weights or any overhead sports like volleyball or baseball or things, it definitely could be grumpier than someone that doesn't do those. So just take your time moving back and forth, and when you find something really good, like I can feel it almost getting ready to kind of thunk over my lats here. It's like a big speed bump is in the way. I'm going to pause, take a big breath, try not to let the muscles of my face react to what I'm feeling. And then the great thing is here is when you really relax into it, melt into it, it does release. And then you're like, oh my goodness, that's so much better. I'm not at a 7 anymore. I'm at a 4. All right, I'm going to start looking for another 7. Whoop, there it is. Take a big breath, wait until the body responds to it, melts into it, releases it. And then it could take a cycle of breath. It could take many cycles of breath. Wait for just a few more moments. Whether you're in movement or stillness, you just want this all to be productive and not painful. All right, I'm going to plant my right hand so that I can press myself up. And then I immediately want to take some movements here. So I'm going to kind of circle out the shoulder, and I'm going to take that big side body stretch. And man, does that feel different and wonderful. Love it. Okay. All right. I'm going to flip over and do the other side. You can just kind of turn around. I'm going to make sure and keep facing you here. And then you might take a second to look at your block to see the angle that you had, because you're going to want to maybe start in that similar position. As I thread my arm through, I'm going to take the angle, bring it down, rest the head. All right. It didn't take quite as long to situate on this side because I got the angle right the first time. I'm going to make sure that my arm is relaxed, that shoulder blade's not riding up in my ear. And then I'm going to immediately start melting into this, and so that my body doesn't fight it. Wish you guys could see Watson right now. He's just belly in the air. He's been like this the whole time. All right. If and only if the sensations that you're feeling are, deep massage, therapeutic, not super high on your scale, then you can start to maybe move a little bit, and it could start as the teeniest, tiniest little rock. And then when your body's like, oh, okay, that's okay. I'm good. Then maybe you start to increase. Eventually, if everything's feeling good, you could absolutely take your head off of that pillow block and kind of come down so more of your pec is digging into the block. And you could absolutely, roll your heart up all the way towards the ceiling and really reach back to those lats. It just is going to kind of depend on your side. It's going to depend on your hobbies, what you do, even your sleeping position. All those things affect the tissues and will affect this massage. So feel free to create movement, but the movement really is to kind of source out your spots. And then once you have a spot, you're going to relax or do your best to relax. Keep your breath work. The idea is for the body to feel comfortable and safe enough to release that area of tension or band of tension. You'll be here for just a little bit longer before we finish up. You might notice after you do these that not only your side bodies feel different, but the shoulder health can be affected. This is such a good one if you have cranky shoulders. A lot of the things that affect the shoulders are the muscles that we're currently getting here, serratus, pecs, and lats. Okay, give me one more big breath. Whew. All right, I'm going to use my left hand to come up off of this, and then I'm going to reach a few circles around, and then I'm going to reach all the way up overhead. Feels very different. Okay, so I'm going to get these blocks out of the way. I'm going to get ready for Shavasana, so if you need to change your playlist, if you need to take the lights down a bit, if you need to grab some props, pillows, blankets, whatever you need, please just don't skip Shavasana. Oh my goodness. It's one of the most important parts of the practice. It's basically culminating everything that you've done into nervous system work that we need. So when you're ready, lengthen it out. Let's take a big full body stretch. Again, just emphasizing the side bodies and how different they feel. Pretty awesome. And then hands down by the sides. Find your positioning for Shavasana. With the eyes closed down, relax the muscles of the face, dropping the jaw, the tongue, dropping the shoulders, softening the hips, and just letting the body give way. We want everything to be more at ease and less effort. No energy is required here. So let it drain out of the muscles. Taking deep cycles of breath. Notice that the breath has changed here. As you inhale, is there more space on the side bodies? Is the breath cleaner feeling, more crisp? Are you bringing in more? Are you just aware of more space? Maybe you can use the breath almost like a massage, inhaling to find a bit of extra stretch between the ribs, and then exhaling to squeeze out the old air and prepare for that next new cycle. Maybe you feel the chest lift and lower, very similar to ocean waves. You might even be able to connect the sound of the breath to those ocean waves, your inhales sounding ever so slightly different than your exhales. Just like the waves coming into the shore sound just a little different than the waves going back out. Take just a few more moments here, focusing on the breath, regulating the nervous system, trying to take yourself from movement to stillness as flawlessly as possible. Take one more big cycle of breath here. And then begin to gather a little energy by wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles. And then as you slowly reach the hands up overhead, go ahead and feel out those side bodies, seeing how different they are from the beginning of class. And then gently draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Take any movement necessary over the low back. And then being very heavy, very still, we're going to roll over to the right side body, resting the head on the arm. One last cycle of breath here in your stillness. This is an inhale to gather up what you need. Hopefully a little bit of an intention to monitor your breath the rest of the day now that your side bodies are all lengthened. Use this exhale to leave behind anything that shouldn't follow you off the mat, anything that is better left alone. And then slowly rise up to a seated position. As you sit up nice and tall in the spine, again, feel out those side bodies, the work that you put in, placing the hands together at heart center, relaxing the chin towards the chest. Thank you so very much for dedicating a little bit of time to you, to finding movement, to finding stillness, to finding breath work, to finding mindfulness, and to recognizing just how much all of those things affect your time off the mat. It was my honor to lead you through class. Namaste.